Hi, Mimi.
Hi, Bhuvan. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm great, thank you. Well, thank you for doing this.
Thank you for inviting me over.
Two shows I've genuinely loved watching on OTT have been Farzi, of course, and now Dupahiya. And
Thank you very much.
yeah, I just find like the just that the originality and the refreshing nature of both shows, even though they're poles apart, your characters are completely different. Before we do talk about the shows, as a way to start things off, I've been so intrigued to find out how did your journey as an actor begin?
I think I secretly wanted to be an actor like everybody else in India. Deep down, everybody wants to be either a cricketer or an actor in India. So I
Hmm.
think I also had this withheld desire inside that I really wanted to perform, and I was terrible at studies. Not really terrible, but wasn't very great.
Hmm.
So I started participating in school plays and everything, and I think got a lot of female attention, and that's where it all began, like how it begins for most of the people. So I started to do it, and then I was in my college. I used to do a lot of plays over there. I used to do a lot of street plays, which really, used to help us kill our inhibitions. And one thing led to another. A friend of mine was applying to this institute called FTI, which I had no idea about back in the day. And he was just filling up the form, and it's a very luxury, if you've seen the film, kind of story. So he was filling the form. I just filled the form
Hmm.
alongside with him, and I got through, and he didn't, which is very unfortunate. And he still curses me till date, saying that you took my seat.
Wow, that must
So,
be really awkward.
yeah, so then I went to the institute and I sort of understood what the whole craft is about, and it's a lot more hard work than it seems to be, and you really come into a tough profession. And but since I was there, I had to sail through. So I just kept doing my bit, and I am where I am.
Wow, that's amazing. Such an amazing story. And what was the first film that made you fall in love with cinema?
So ironically, the first film that I ever saw in a theater was Bombay.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I didn't know that that's going to be the city where I'm going to spend my rest of my life. So yeah, that's the first film, and I was really fascinated by a couple of other films, also Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
When I was really young, there's another film called Titanic, which everybody knows of course. So I used to, and more than I feel the theater, I would be a big movie buff on all the channels,
Mm,
like ZTV or Sony TV,
yeah.
whatever. I would see repeat telecast of all the movies, and I used to be fascinated by it. So my mom used to joke about it. She used to tell me, "Do you understand Hindi?
Yeah, yeah.
Do you?" Yeah, okay. So my mom used to tell me, "Ghus ja TV ke andar."
Jacket
I
Sister.
think so. I think I took that literally.
And you
I
did.
did.
Oh wow, that's such a beautiful story. But
Right.
yeah, I must say, actually, when I first watched Farzi, I couldn't stop thinking like Feroz is such a unique and captivating character. I mean, there's so
Thank
many
you.
sides to him that he made me laugh, but he also could equally make you cry, and that's what I love
Correct.
about him.
Yeah. I
So,
think that the
yeah.
credit goes to the writers for that. I tried to gild the lily as much as I could, but I think no actor can rise above the script, and neither should they be doing that. So I think the true credit goes to the writers of the show, Sita Menon and Suman Kumar. They had written the part so beautifully that I just had to show up on set and sort of use what I learned in the institute.
Mhm. No, it was so true. Like because there's certain elements that you see, like the actual the writing you said is so originally and creatively done, and then I think you've performed the role with such like authenticity as well. Like you can tell this guy, you could just feel this guy is real, and I what I enjoyed about him is like he could like there's so many humorous parts of his character, but at the same time, like the one of the scenes that really stood out for me was when Nana Ji finds out about Feroz and Sunny like doing what they're doing, and like that scene when you just see like them walk away, like just deflated and kind of like considering like what have they done, and the camera's almost like walking along with them, and that scene really got me, especially with Feroz's that if in Feroz's eyes you can just see.
Oh, nice. You remember all the intricate details now.
Yeah, no, I genuinely thought that was one of my, I think, favorite scenes with Feroz's character.
The script's got to support it. I mean, it was obviously designed in a certain way. and it wasn't supposed to be such a long shot. Like the camera was supposed to just follow us for about like 3 seconds and then
Yeah.
leave us. But I think both of us, me and Shahid Bhai, we both sort of got into the thing. And they kept rolling, and the path ended. There was nowhere else to go, so we had to eventually cut it. But
Mm.
yeah, I think that's the joy of being in acting. You get to, live different lives. You get to feel different characters. Yeah, so that's the fun of it.
Yeah. So how was that like the whole journey of like Farzi for you? Like, how did you kind of like transform into this character?
So I often, don't understand this whole idea of actors transforming into characters and all of that. Although I've studied that, but I don't understand. I feel that, all the characters that we play in our lifetime, they sort of originate from us.
Hmm.
So there are sides of us which we sort of, highlight further or prioritize. And that's how we form characters. You obviously pick up nuances from people around you. Like I've been living in Bombay for around 8 years, 9 years before Farzi had happened. And everybody used to ask me, how did you catch the Marathi accent? You're a Punjabi boy, you're a Delhi boy. I said, I was preparing for this for 8 years.
Mm.
Every day I used to step down, people would talk around me and I would listen to them and I would probably catch a few phrases here and there. So I just feel that everything that is happening for an actor is sort of, material for him to recreate on screen later. So the prep is constantly going on. There is no one way to approach a character. That's what I always feel. Sometimes you just, you go on a set and you've not prepared at all. I'm not advocating that at all.
Mhm.
But I'm just saying sometimes it happens that you might have done a separate set of preparation and you walk on the set and you see an AD who's actually giving you more mannerisms and gestures, than you probably had thought when you were sitting at home. So always be aware, always be alive as to what is happening around you. I think that is where the real acting comes from.
Yeah. So like being aware of your surroundings.
Being
Exactly.
aware.
That is
Yeah,
your
yeah.
homework.
Yeah, that's I feel is one of the strongest pillars for anything, like for any actor to sort of, pick up new things for any character.
Yeah, no, but and what I genuinely enjoyed about Firoz's character was like his dynamic with Sunny, especially. Like I think that's like the best sort of relationship in the show for me, like the two of them together. And then when they have
I
to separate,
I'll tell you something ironic. Everybody tells me, not everybody, like a lot of people have been sweet and kind enough to tell me that, when we saw the show, we sort of felt that this isn't acting, this is a real guy, this is a real
yeah,
character. But maybe whenever I see the show, I just don't feel like that for some reason. I can see through myself. I'm still, always criticizing. I could have done this
mhm,
better. I could have done that better. So I sort of feel that I've lost objectivity of the fact when. So it's going to
yeah,
be a big challenge for me when Farzi 2 comes because I just did what I had to do in Farzi 1.
mhm.
But when the season 2 will happen, and I will probably have to recreate, and there's been like a respectable amount of gap in between. So that'll get really tough for me. So, to sort of, see why people say this, I often watch, one or two episodes here and there, but I'm never able to figure it out.
I
So
think
if you do,
because
please do tell me.
yeah, no, because you're actually in it and you were there when it was filmed, and I think you know exactly like the technicalities that went behind the scene and the shot, and that takes away from like the feeling like oh this is a real story. So for you, but for us, like the audience who have no idea how like we weren't there when it was filmed, it comes across completely genuine, completely real, and I think that like the end is about especially the end when they have to separate that was like completely like that tore me apart because like when they have to like he's like I'm gonna wait for you at the station and he does and that's so genuinely that makes you like really like emotional. It's so
Yeah, and
true.
I've often said it that, bromance is a very undertapped emotion in our cinema.
Yeah, yeah,
And if you truly ask any of the boys, romance is sort of, way more instant connecting
yeah,
with
yeah.
boys than romance. I
That's so
think
true.
romance mostly a lot of women do enjoy romance and rom-coms and all of that. I do enjoy them myself. I'm not being sexist here, but I'm just saying that when it comes to bromance, a lot of boys relate to it instantly because they probably lived a bit of it.
Yeah, no, that is really true because like I think that dynamic works really well, and because of the fact that it just comes across how people are seeing it, it does come across very authentic, and these two people are real, and that's why people have connected so much to the show. Like I'm sitting here in London connecting to two boys in Bombay in the show.
That's sweet of you. That's nice of you. We should have met. I was in London some time back.
Oh wow! Oh, are you? Oh wow!
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
whenever you're next to London, let me know. Uh,
we'll do that.
Yeah, no, it's but it's so yeah, no, it's the genuinely like it's I think one of the strongest shows on OTT in the last few years because you know like in the last few years I felt in a way like OTT like it hasn't been as fresh as it used to be when it started, but like shows like Farzi and Dupahiya have kind of made you come back to like that originality, like you know like the originality is there in terms of storytelling and performances and actually like even the background music of Farzi, I have to like genuinely applaud because it just works so well with the emotions of each and
It
every scene.
does. It does. It does. Fab job on the music as well.
Yeah, and cinematography, like that scene on the rooftop on New Year's, just one of the
I
iconic scenes.
I am in awe of our DOP, Mr. Pankaj Kumar. His
Yeah,
one of his shows have just come out recently. It's called Cough. If you've not seen
yeah,
it,
yeah.
please do
I
watch
just come
it.
out recently.
I think it's a masterpiece when it comes to cinematography. I don't think so. I've seen anything which is as good as that. And I'm saying this about my own
No,
show
it's
as well.
genuinely it is.
It's brilliant. It's brilliant.
It is that scene, especially, is like a postcard. Like
Right.
he's completely like he's talking about like being middle class and everything, but like just looking at the vibrancy of the city in the backdrop, it's just like it's literally you just stand there and just look at oh wow, look at what
Yeah.
a
So
postcard.
ironically, they wanted a frontal shot of me while
Oh
that
wow,
scene
yeah.
was happening, but I sort of saw this sort of frame, and I said, let's not do a frontal at all. Let's just stick to this, please, sir.
Works so well.
This, yeah, it works really well. So I think, yeah, blessing in disguise.
Your silhouette.
Exactly.
Really
We
works.
chose that. We chose that. So
Yeah.
they wanted a frontal shot. They said, let's just take a frontal. I said, it's
No,
not
no, it
needed only.
works
I
so
feel it's
well.
been set so beautifully. So I feel we should just let it rest and we should just use this.
No, and it's beautifully done. And I have to like, I think the well, actually, like the best scene, I think the funniest scene that truly makes me laugh still is the you know the chai. Whenever Feroz has to drink tea, he has
Yeah.
to finish the tea, take out the malai, and
All right.
it's just too funny. Like he's done it a few times throughout the show, and it's like the
Yeah. So
constant.
that was an improvised scene. It wasn't actually
Oh
written in the
wow!
script. Yeah. So Rajat came up with that idea. I was just sitting there. I told my spot boy to get me some chai because the one that was there on the table, it sort of got cold. So he asked me if you'd want to drink chai in the scene. I said, I'm just keeping it there. If I feel like having it organically, I'll probably have it. So he said, let's do something. Let's make you have chai and everybody will wait. So I didn't understand it. So he's like, no, no, everybody will have chai. And
Yeah.
sorry, his Firoz is going to have chai and everybody's going to just wait for him to do that. So we just do that. Again, same, coming back to the same thing, observation. My dad used to have chai like that.
Oh wow!
Because he was in the army and he had no time to spare. So he had to finish his cup of tea as soon as he could. So he would never rest it. So he
Oh
would just take up
wow!
the cup until the time he doesn't finish it off. He would not keep the cup down. So again, life teaches you everything.
Wow, that's amazing. In fact, he does that with the whiskey or something in the club.
Yeah. So then when we did that scene, we did the whiskey scene later. So that sort of became like a character thing. So
Yeah,
exactly my point. We also
yeah.
evolve. We also learn a lot of things once you reach on the set. So you might be preparing a lot, before you begin the shooting
Mhm.
process. But while you're shooting, so many things are discovered. So many new ideas come into your head.
Yeah,
Till
exactly.
date, it haunts me, Mimi. It haunts me till date. I feel that, anything interesting that I watch on the street, I feel like, God damn, I could have used it. I could have used this there.
So true.
And yeah, I think it's a good thing to have. Till the time it's
No, it's
haunting
amazing.
me, I feel that, sort of feel I'll be on the right path.
No, it's actually very good, like to have that observation, and a part of being an actor, you have to have a good sense of observation, and actually even like people I've talked to before, they always say the same, like where they just someone I talked to like last year, he also mentioned like I just sat at a chai stall and just watched the entire like sort of what was happening just around me, and just kind of just looking at like the people who turn up, the customers, people who sit down, and just kind of observing is so very crucial to the
Yeah, I used to
entire.
do that myself in my initial years when I had time, and obviously had a lot of time
Mhm.
in my initial years. So I used to go to Andheri station, which is a very heavily
Yeah.
crowded station. If you've been to Bombay, I'm assuming,
No, no,
or
unfortunately
you
not
haven't.
yet. I'm
Then you
planning.
must. And
I'm
you must,
planning.
and you must also go to Andheri station, which is a very, very heavily crowded station.
Hmm.
I would just go there, sit on the bench, and just keep looking at people, what they're doing, what's happening. And I would, think in my head, what exactly is his life story, what he must be going through.
Yeah.
So I used to enjoy doing that a lot. Unfortunately, I'm not able to do that anymore. It's become really, really crowded now. There's hardly any space to sit.
People genuinely have love for the show, and I'm
Yeah, yeah.
sure you receive like a lot of
Yes,
love.
audio, yeah, they've been really kind. I think I owe whatever I've done after that to that show.
Yeah, and what and moving on like to what you have done after the show, like I must say I loved watching Dupahiya. It was just a genuinely like it was like I said before, it was such a refreshing story, and it wasn't like forced, like nowadays like I have this thing where I like you sometimes you when you watch comedy you feel like it's kind of forced, but this was completely like the timings were perfect, the way it was written was so genuine and authentic, and I genuinely thought the show was actually one of my, so far, it's been my favorite show of the year,
Oh,
Dubai.
sweet. Thank you. Thank you. I hope it remains like that. I hope nothing beats your favorite spot.
So far, it is genuinely the show I have enjoyed the most because I just think that everything is like, it's just like a genuine humbleness, you feel like this genuine warmth when you watch the show, and it just makes you kind
Right.
of like, kind of puts you in such a good mood. Like
Right, it
sometimes,
does.
and
Yeah,
so,
it leaves you with a sweet, joyous feeling,
yeah,
and it's nothing seems paused in the show. Again, the credit goes to the writers Avinash and Chirag,
yeah,
and it actually raises so many sensitive topics without being preachy at the same time.
yes,
You
exactly.
know, yeah, be it the color of a girl's skin, be it dowry, be it kleptomania. There's
Yes,
so many
definitely.
things happening in the show, but they're still not spoon feeding the audience, which I found to be really beautiful when I read the script.
Yeah, it's very
So, yeah.
sensitively dealt with, like all of the like sort of issues with like in terms of like, especially the kleptomania. Some people may not even know like what it is. And Roshni tells him like it's you just have a condition. It's not like,
Mm,
and it's nice the way he even like he's telling everyone even at the panchayat like,
right,
no, I don't mean to do this. It's just like sometimes like I feel like this void and it kind of goes away for a bit.
right,
Just genuinely like that you can tell like someone's kind of researched on how this person would feel like if this was real, like, and that's
right.
what comes across as like so genuine to everyone.
It does actually, and ironically, one of my most enriching exercises when I was studying was about kleptomania when I was studying in FTI.
Hmm.
And obviously, as they say, life comes in a full circle. I
Yeah,
eventually got to play a character which was a kleptomaniac. So that research that I did back in the day came in really handy. And yeah, again, but then it was written in such a beautiful fashion that I didn't have to do much. I just had to convince myself that I do this. A couple of scenes here and there, I also feel that it could have again let it be. I'm always
no, no, but genuinely, it is so good. Like your both your performances, and actually, Amavas, I think, is just genuinely like such a lovable character. Like even
yeah.
though, like like when you first like meet him, you see this brooding human being, and then suddenly you just feel this like he has such heart and soul. Like
So this was the three-word description from my director for the Amavas's character. He said, "I want him to be a brooding, lovable loser."
I thought the lovable and the brooding bit, but and I don't believe he's a loser. I genuinely think he's a winner because throughout the show, I'm rooting for Amavas over Kuber, like because he's just literally like Roshni should kind of like, and I'm glad she does kind of like make the decision she does at the end, but
Yeah,
it's so heartwarming, like the love he has for her.
I'm sure most of us have been there, done that.
Actually, one dynamic I truly love in the show is Boogle and Amavas is like sort of
Yeah,
dynamic, and
yeah.
especially after the Fotua song. which
Right. Oh God. This
I
had to
love
come.
that song. I have to tell you, I absolutely love that song. When I first heard it, it was so genuinely fresh, this song, and I was happy to like see it. Such a sort of catchy original song.
Yeah. It was a big challenge also, I feel that I was very, very excited and unsure as to how this is going to unfold. But because I had a thick beard, I was shooting for other things simultaneously, and I had a thick beard, and I was like, I won't be at the liberty to shave. You think we should just put this Arabic thing, that what is
It
that
was, it
mask
was
sort of
so
a thing,
nice.
like a transparent mask sort of thing. So I look like less ugly on screen. And that was it. But then our choreographer, Mr. Ganesh Acharya, he
Yeah,
sort of reassured me that, everybody, a lot of guys have, dressed as women and danced on
yeah, yeah.
screen, but nobody's ever done it with a beard. When you're going to be the first one.
It
And it
was
struck to me,
genuinely
I was like,
lovely.
he's got a point. He's got a point. And he's like, the real challenge now lies in how convincingly will you do it?
It was so graceful. Like,
Yeah.
and I genuinely think it works so well together. Like, so there was such a good decision to keep the beard.
I
Like,
had a great time shooting for that song. I'd probably do that every day if I had a choice.
yeah, no, because the choreography is so fast paced, and I'm like, wow, this is amazing. Like the way you've done it, and the sort of just the nature and the facial expressions. Oh, the facial expressions and with Sparsh and you, it just genuinely works so well.
Sparsh is actually a reality show winner, so he was an excellent dancer to start with.
Mm.
But I'm actually happy that my bit also came out well.
No, both of you like were so in sync. Like it was very synchronized, the dancing, and so that day on set must have been like really fun. Like just the entire
Yeah, yeah, yeah. 2 days of shoot and the most fun 2 days.
yeah, no, it's genuine. You can feel that as well. Like it's so unique. Like it's not like the entire story, but like this one part of the show. It becomes this entire beautiful mehfil, you could say.
But
Uh,
that actually happens, Mimi. It's actually based on true
yeah, yeah,
events in life.
yeah,
This is still a tradition in Bihar. I
yeah,
actually was in Bihar some time back, and I actually saw men dressed as women, and it's their own drag dance.
yeah.
Yeah, so
It's a form of
that's
like
tradition
expression.
is, yeah, it's still alive, and it's always done whether there is a good occasion or anything grand that's happening. And the way they do it with so much panache, they do it with so much grace. And I saw it, I think, about a month before I was about to shoot the song. And it was such a big inspiration, the way they were
Mm.
doing it. And I think, yeah, I think God wanted me to see it, which is why He took me to Bihar all the way and made me see that.
Like when you're just observing your surroundings and
Yeah.
actually and that's what I think was so good about the show. Like everyone has a part to play where every character is just so unique and every character is actually very lovable, even like the ones that aren't like the ones with the best intentions. That everyone is just like this family, and actually I felt like
Were
really
you able to guess who had taken the Dupahiya till the end?
I wasn't sure. Like I had a kind of doubt on the Sarpanchji, but I wasn't really sure. I knew it would be something to do with the guy with the glasses, definitely with Kamlesh.
Right,
And
right,
I knew he was definitely shady when I first saw him in
right.
the first episode with Renu Kaji when he's like kind of like saying like you can tell he's kind of jealous. So,
Yeah,
but I knew he had something to do with it definitely, and the
right.
he was a good like kind of like angle as well, and
So
that's
you're one of the smart ones then.
oh wow really so
Yeah.
people didn't guess it.
A lot of people couldn't guess it at all.
I had my doubts throughout, but then I actually genuinely thought Nirmal was behind it all. But I genuinely thought Nirmal was like the big leader because of
Right,
Roshni's getting married.
right,
That was also a doubt of mine as well. And she kind
right.
of had something indirectly to do with it, but like she wasn't like she didn't have the bad intentions. Like I was maybe doubting, maybe she was the one who kind of did it. And I didn't like the way you see like maybe the jealousy cropped up. So you it's and that's what I love. Like it's
Yes,
almost like a
you're
who done it.
exactly sounding like a friend of mine. So I have this close-knit group of friends. One of
Yeah.
my friends, Pallavi, she messaged me after watching 2 episodes, and I said, are you, even remotely close to guessing who's done it?" So she sent me like a 10 option flow chart that, I'm not joking about it. She actually sent me like a flow chart sort of a thing. If this has happened, he's done it. If
Yeah,
this has not happened, this is done it. And I said, then what's the point of it? Every character in the show you sort of included in your flow chart. There's gotta be somebody from the show, no?
yeah. No, I was thinking as well. Like, okay, this is it could be like Pushpa Plata G as well, because like the way it was written was like each character could have the motive, so
Right.
you can't just completely say outright this person's the one. Like towards the end, you have to watch the entire series to actually genuinely
You
find
have to.
out who is the one, because every character you can like tell, or maybe their intentions may be wrong there. And so I that's what I and I think like I was so consumed by this Darakpur village, like I genuinely loved it. I would love to visit this sort of town because it just completely pulls apart from where I live. So
We're doing a season 2. You're more than welcome to visit our village.
oh wow, I would love to because it's nothing like how like where I live, but it's the family nature where everyone's
Right.
together.
Yeah.
Even when
And
they're not
anyways, it's
together,
hard.
they're together.
It's very few shows these days you can actually sit together with your family and watch all of them.
Yeah,
Keeping in mind that there's something for everybody in it.
yeah.
So yeah, I think that was beautifully. So the minute we read the script, I sort of knew that we have a winner at hand. This is going to cater to every member of the family.
It does.
So yeah,
So you could relate to like Roshni, you could relate to like Amavas and Google
yeah,
movements throughout the show.
yeah. Yes.
Is there like a favorite scene of yours from any of the both shows that we just talked about, like Farzi or Dupahiya?
I mean, it's hard to pick, one favorite scene, but yeah, I think the chai scene that you were talking about is one of my most favorite scenes from Farzi.
Hmm.
And Dupahiya, I think I love doing all the flashbacks and the song. There's this
Yes,
song,
so
Hafte ke din nau ho gaye.
hmm.
So I feel that I hadn't really gotten to do that a lot in my previous work. I've grown watching a lot of Indian movies and television. I was always fascinated by, all the love songs, how, so to say, heroes would, dance around heroines and all of that. I
Yeah.
didn't get to do that a lot in my previous work, so I would probably pick that as one of my favorite bits from the show.
Yeah, it was really lovely, like filmy, like sort of
Yeah,
90s romance.
it's supposed to be like that. And my director said, just go bonkers. Sonam said, just go bonkers. All your filmy aspirations that you've grown up watching, get them out.
You feel like you're back in the 90s watching
Yeah,
like
yeah,
the sort of like the Shah Rukh Khan time, like we're just watching all the
yeah.
monkeys dancing around, and I
Oh
genuinely I
God.
love that.
Did you just compare the song to any of Shah Rukh's performance? I think I won't be able to sleep tonight.
I think it was that like sort of that vibe from like the song. I genuinely felt that like, and I
I
especially love
think
that.
I think we should now close this. I got my bits from this conversation. I'm gonna be happy once I leave.
People are going to be looking forward to watching more and more of your work and films and performances. Yeah, no, and I genuinely can't wait like to see more films, more shows from
Thank you. Thank you so very much. Another show of mine's coming up. It's called Tatkal. If you find time, please do watch it.
definitely I will watch it, and I can just tell the future is so bright for you.
I hope so. आपके मुंह में घी शक्कर.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, it's true. I love talking to people who are genuine about their craft, and like you can tell like they want to know more, they want to like observe, like we just talked about observation being such a big thing. And it's genuine, you can tell like this humble nature that somebody has to kind of make their work better. Like you're always criticizing yourself, you said, and you can tell
Right.
that, and that's a part of being a great artist, I think.
I don't know whether it's a part of being a great artist or not. I just feel that, that's the only way you can grow. If you get content with what you've done already, you'll never be able to find more.
Yeah.
And I think that hunger would sort of die, and I don't want that hunger to die. So I feel that, till the time I'm criticizing, the day I'm going to say, like, oh my God, I did a great job. I think that's probably the death of my growth.
So true, actually. Like that would almost be like your drive to do more and more.
And there's so much good work coming. And every time I see another show, which I really like, and I feel like people are doing such great job, and I feel inspired and I feel motivated, and I want to do all the more better and work harder.
That stands out in even your performances. You can tell this person wants to kind of showcase something that's genuine, like, and kind of make the audience feel something when they watch it.
Thank you, Mimi. Thank you. That's really nice of you.
No, and I genuinely mean it. Like I'm not saying it just because of that. When you see someone grow and then it's almost like the audience is growing with you, and it's kind of like a journey that everyone's on together. That's the way I see it.
That's the way how everybody should see it.
Yeah. This has been such an enriching conversation, Bhuvan.
Likewise, likewise.
And I wanted to say thank you so much again just for doing this because I know you're really busy.
Thanks. No, I'm not that busy. And I don't like to put on things. So, but thanks for the initiative. Thanks for reaching out and thanks for setting up this conversation. I really had a good time.
I wish you all the best
Thank you.
and
Thank you
yeah,
so very much.
take care.
Yes. And lots of love to my good old London. I really had a good time there.
Yes, and do let me know whenever you're back and
I'm gonna do that. I'm
we'll go
gonna do
sightseeing
that.
or something.
Yes, we'll stay in touch.
Yes, definitely stay in touch.
Take care for now.
Okay, bye.
Bye. Take care.